Right, so Arizona, Nashville. Welcome, my name is Norman to OT1. So this is a series I had pegged as the upset series, where I see Arizona actually going through against Nashville. So Arizona take the lead 8 minutes into the game with an Oliver Ekman-Larsson shot that somehow Juuse Saros just lets pass. It kind of lobbed him, but in a weird way. And 10 minutes into the game, it was very end-to-end from both teams. And although Arizona was definitely the better team, Nashville still looked dangerous, and they were being outshot 9-3, but still played with confidence. However, kudos to Arizona, they capitalized on their chances, and Phil Kessel actually doubled the score just 3 minutes later. Ryan Ellis and Roman Josi were looked to make like school kids, like peewee players. Arizona again genuinely looked like a team that did not have a break. It looked like they were just playing from September up until now, no breaks, training 5 days a week. And on the other hand, Nashville looked clueless as to how to respond and how to play against this team that played with lots of energy, many shots. And 5 minutes before the end of the first, Arizona actually had a penalty call going for them. They were out shooting Nashville 12-4, and they looked like they could easily have scored 1 or 2 at any time, and they actually just did. So Clayton Keller gets Arizona's third on a power play with 4 left in the first. And Juuse Saros did not look confident at all, and I half expected him to get pulled right away after the third. I don't know why they didn't go with Pekka Rinne, but it wouldn't surprise me if they did in the second game though. And just half a minute before time in the first, Phil Kessel gets a holding call, and it's a 4-3 for a minute. Probably the best opportunity for Nashville to come back, and they do get one back through Philip Forsberg. If they can keep this up, I'll genuinely think they'll be a team to look out for during the playoffs, Arizona, because they will get far playing like this. However, the second period started in a much slower and more lackadaisical way. The teams were more reserved. Nashville obviously didn't want to concede a fourth and the game be over and done with, but Arizona obviously wanted to preserve their lead as well. Nashville took quite a few penalties. Arizona still looked the better team. However, the Preds were generally doing a better job of killing the penalties, but so with the Coyotes getting their fourth and the first shorthanded goal via Michael Grabner late in the second. So, right into the third, Nashville come out firing and reduce the deficit on the Ryan Ellis goal that went in via the skate of Oliver Ekman-Larsson. And with 19 minutes to play, anything can happen really. Nashville clearly the better side. Arizona looking like they're about to collapse. But they're still dangerous on occasion, and with 13 in the game, it certainly did not look over. Forsberg again would get one on yet another power play after Arizona was called for too many men on the ice. And again, with 11 minutes left, the momentum had completely changed and was Nashville's. Arizona after that would immediately give another penalty away, and it looked like it was falling apart. I'm guessing many people, including myself, actually expected the Preds to go on and win this at that point in the game, and Nashville would remain the better team, but the score would end 4-3. So a few takeaways. Darcy Kemper looked really good and Arizona looked unstoppable at times. However, they can't afford to peak in the second and die out because the third wasn't anywhere near good enough. So what they produced in the first, they must be able to reproduce in the second and the third. It's not good starting off hot and then conceding 2, 3, potentially 4 or 5 in the last period, because that's exactly what Arizona looked like they were going to do. And Nashville did a great job of coming back and fighting until it was actually over. But they need to actually start strongly as well, because as you could see, they gave up 3 in the first, and that was basically it. They did come back and scored 3, but if you give up 3 in the first, you still have 40 minutes to be able to concede another goal or 2 or 3. And against better teams than Arizona, that is definitely going to happen. It's a good thing now that Arizona actually won the first. It'll force Nashville to actually play more offensively. We'll see what Arizona really is made out of now that they have a lead and that they need to defend it. But equally, Nashville needs to come forward, will still leave gaps in behind, even with defensemen like Roman Josi and Ryan Ellis. I think Pekka Rinne should actually be the goalkeeper for this series. But again, it remains to be seen how Arizona plays, if they will play with that 5 that they had in the first and a little in the second, and if they can actually keep this up for 3, 4, 5 games and in the playoffs, if they do reach the playoffs. So that was it. I've been Norman, and thank you very much for watching.